4,000 Essential English Words. Book 6. Pollination. Unit 20. Word list. Adhesive. An adhesive is a substance used for sticking things together.
The carpenter used an adhesive to hold the two pieces of wood together.
Adverse. If something is adverse, then it is harmful.
Not eating healthy foods can have an adverse effect on your health.
Dependency. A dependency is a strong need for someone or something.
The child still has a dependency on her mother.
Dump. To dump something means to throw it away or get rid of it.
She dumped the garbage into the trash can.
Eternal. If something is eternal, then it lasts forever.
She said that her love for him was eternal.
Fluctuate. To fluctuate means to rise and fall in number or amount.
Prices for gasoline have been fluctuating all month.
Fro. If something moves to and fro, it moves backward and forward or side to side.
Her long hair went to and fro as she swung on the swing.
Inclusion. Inclusion is the act of including someone or something in a group.
Her inclusion into the photo club was well received.
Intermediate. If something is intermediate, then it is in the middle of two levels, places, or times.
He selected the intermediate ski hill to begin his afternoon of skiing.
Intermittent. If something is intermittent, then it happens in a way that is not constant.
It was hard to focus because intermittent noises came from the workers outside.
Mentor. A mentor is a person with experience or knowledge who advises someone.
The students each chose a mentor to help them with the experiment.
Phoenix. A phoenix is an imaginary bird that burns to ashes and is reborn.
Some believe the phoenix is a symbol for rebirth and a new beginning.
Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process in which plants change sunlight and air.
The chemical in plants that makes them green is used in photosynthesis.
Pollen. Pollen is the tiny yellow powder made in the flowers of plants.
During the spring, the pollen in the air makes some people become sick.
Regain. To regain something means to get it back.
The battery regained its power after being recharged.
Reverse. To reverse means to change to the opposite direction.
They reversed their direction after seeing the sign.
Swarm. A swarm is a group of flying insects.
A beautiful swarm of butterflies filled the summer sky.
Texture. Texture is the quality of something that can be known by its touch.
The texture of her skin was very soft and smooth.
Tickle. To tickle someone is to touch them in a way that causes laughter.
The mother tickled the little boy's foot and he screamed with laughter.
Vibrant. If something is vibrant, then it is bright and full of color.
Their new shirts were a vibrant shade of red. The greedy bee. A young bee had passed his intermediate level exams. He now knew everything about flowers. He understood how they used photosynthesis to make oxygen and which ones produced the best pollen. Bees had an important dependency on pollen. From the beginning of time, bees' eternal task was to gather pollen and make honey with it. Since he passed his exams, the little bee had earned his inclusion in the swarms that gathered pollen. He was excited because he was finally allowed to leave the hive. He left with the next swarm and was determined to find the perfect flower. Soon he saw a large, vibrant flower full of pollen. He landed on a petal and walked toward the pollen at the flower's center. Immediately he began rolling in the pollen, gathering it on his legs and wings. The fine texture of the pollen tickled when it stuck to his body. It was the best experience the little bee had ever had. He gathered as much as he could. But when he was flying back home, he realized that all the pollen had an adverse effect. He had no control over his flight. The intermittent wind fluctuated in power. He was blown to and fro. 1 minute he was flying straight, and the next minute the wind had reversed his course. He tried to dump some of the pollen, but it acted as an adhesive. He couldn't get it off. He became tired and fell to the ground. "What am I going to do now?" he thought. Just then his mentor landed next to him and began cleaning the excess pollen off the little bee. "You shouldn't have taken so much," his mentor said. Finally, with the pollen off of him, the bee easily regained his strength, and like a phoenix, the young bee flew back into the air. When he returned to the hive, he turned to his mentor and said, "I learned an important lesson today. I will never be greedy again."